We appreciate you joining us today for this quick video. We're going to talk briefly about some changes, recent changes with the VA mortgage refinance. Homeowners that have questions, of course, visit us at vamortgagehub.com or call us at 1-800-743-7556. Loan programs that we'll cover again today are just going to be the regular interest rate reduction, VA refinance. Uh, this is the streamline or EARL interest rate reduction refinance loan. We're going to talk also about some changes with the cash out refinance. And again, we're just going to briefly cover just some changes that have happened really in recent months since the COVID-19 pandemic. Really all lenders and banks have made some changes regarding their underwriting requirements. A lot has changed, and we feel that many of these requirements, these guideline changes are probably temporary. This video is being recorded at the end of April. We feel like probably by the end of summer, sometime in the fall, that most of these changes, things will be back to normal, but there are some limitations now regarding credit scores. The minimum credit scores have been raised in a lot of cases, and this is across the board, really not only with the VA program, but also with FHA mortgages, conventional mortgages, and other purchase and refinance programs. So let's talk briefly about a couple things. First, again, just to recap, the Streamlined Interest Rate Reduction Refinance Loan, or EARL, as it's known for short, this is really just for homeowners that want to simply reduce their interest rate without cashing out any equity. This is a streamlined process for homeowners that currently have a VA loan with higher interest rates. They make the process pretty easy with very little documentation needed, often no appraisal. And again, it's a very streamlined process, as the name suggests. Also, the VA Cash Out Refinance Program. This is for homeowners that may want to try to reduce their interest rate and cash out some of their equity that they may have to help pay for needed home improvements, or maybe they want to consolidate some higher interest credit card debt. Really, it can be used for anything. So we'll talk about a couple of changes. First, credit scores right now. Again, this video is being recorded at the end of April 2020. And right now that we're seeing that really the best pricing or the lowest interest rates require a 680 or greater credit score from most lenders or banks. This is important to know, especially for people that may have been pre-approved recently for a refinance, and it's a good idea to check with your lender and to ensure that there hasn't been any drastic changes, because we're seeing now that homeowners that have lower credit scores, maybe a 640 credit score or a 620 credit score, that they're seeing up to 1 percentage point difference in rate due to the credit score adjustments. This isn't VA that's doing this. This is again are the approved lenders and banks that offer the VA mortgage. They're doing these in-house overlays and pricing adjustments. Because again, right now with all the changes, they're kind of limiting the lower credit scores and adjusting the pricing as a result. So the interest rates are still low. That is the good news. But we're seeing that for borrowers that have lower credit scores, oftentimes these interest rate reductions that are in place for the time being, that can offset really all the benefit that would normally be in place for refinance. And really it all depends on your current interest rate. So that's one thing to remember, is that there are some pretty wide spreads right now for home buyers that have credit scores below 620. Now, on the VA cash out refinance program, typically in the past, this program could be done up to 100% loan to value in most states. We're finding that this is also being limited in some cases to 90% or maybe even less depending on the lender or bank. So again, for home buyers that are looking to refinance and also cash out some of their equity, there may be some limitations in place on the loan to value cap that's in place again for the VA cash out refinance. And then also the interest rates are greatly dependent on the credit score as well with the cash out refinance program. So again, for home buyers that may have lower credit scores, it's a good idea to check because if you see interest rates that may be advertised at 3% or 3.5%, you want to be sure to check the actual interest rate for you based on your scenario and your credit score. Because again, if you're at a 4.5% interest rate, and if you refinance and you can only save a half a percentage point, it likely will not make sense to refinance once you factor in the cost associated with it. So that's something that we certainly look at in detail during the evaluation. Home buyers that have questions, homeowners that have questions, please contact us 7 days a week, again at 1-800-743-7556. Thank you for joining us.